In honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, it is time to get my story out there.
A lot of women are coming out to share their abuse, the struggles that they have faced and have gone through. You guys, it's absolutely horrific, this video that we're about to see, because this woman, she was brutalized. I could say this is hatred, because how can a man who you've been with for years decide to douse a chemical into your eye, spins you down and tells you if you scream, it's just gonna end it all, and that's gonna be it. You guys, let's go listen to her and I'll be back.
My name is Heather, and I am a survivor of a very extreme case of domestic violence. I was married for over 11 years to my husband, who ultimately held me down and poured chemicals into my eyes. And this is the result of that. I've had 5 reconstructive surgeries. When it first happened, my eyelids were completely melted off. I've only seen one picture of that, and I don't care to ever see it again. It was absolutely horrifying. And in the moment, I believed I was going to die. My husband held me down on the floor and he poured chemicals into my eyes. And as I laid there screaming, all that he could tell me was if I wasn't quiet, that he would pour it down my throat and it would burn my insides and I would suffocate and die. So I stopped screaming and I was as quiet as I could be because I didn't want to die. And so I started to pray, and I leaned into God and I prayed and I prayed, and it was eventually over. He took me to the hospital. I still didn't come forward at that time that he had done it to me. I was too afraid because of what he had just done to me, what he could potentially do to me further, and worse, what he could do to my children. I have first and foremost always wanted to be the best mom that I could be. And when I knew that things weren't right, it was too late, and I was too afraid to get out. I didn't know how to ask for help, and he was very crafty. And I was afraid that he would try to take my children and that he would hurt them, or that he would hurt them anyways just to hurt me. Now, I am living safely with my children. I never have to deal with that man again. He ultimately killed himself when I was taken from my home. My children were also taken at the same time. He tried to flee the country. They wouldn't let him. But I believe that that was God. God knew that I'd been through enough. God knew that all the people that he had hurt had been through enough. It's not easy. I'm navigating being a single mother living with disabilities. When this initially happened, I was fully blind. I have, by the grace of God, regained vision in my left eye. I'm not sure that I'll ever be able to see out of my right eye again, but I pray for it. But even if I never would have regained my eyesight, I'm still grateful to be alive. I survived things that nobody should. Besides the physical wounds and scars that you see, the mental scars are so much more. Chronic PTSD from an almost 1.5 year torturous ordeal. There's major trigger warnings throughout my story. I'll have to continue this in a part 2 and a part 3. But my main purpose for this is because I want to help you. If there's somebody out there that doesn't feel like they're safe enough to get out, that doesn't feel like that they can get out, I'm here to tell you that you can. And this isn't to preach at anyone or to tell you what to believe. But God's listening and God is watching. And there is purpose to the pain and there is purpose to the suffering. Because I now feel that I have a level of compassion that I never had before. And I truly just want the world to be a better place. So if I can just reach one person with this, I would like to. Stay tuned for part 2. Hey everyone. So it's time to continue with my story. There's going to be a lot of trigger warnings through the entirety of the rest of the videos that I post. I'm going to try my best to keep all of my videos to about 5 minutes. I'm not sure how long this video will be. There is a lot to unpack. I'm going to talk about the day before this happened because I actually left that day. And then I'm going to talk about the day that this happened. A few things to keep in mind is by this point, it had been going on for a year. It didn't start very physically abusive. That progressed over time. But by the time that we got to November of 2022, things were incredibly bad. The morning that I left, he had threatened me that he was tired of dealing me and that he wanted to take me to this motel that he originally took me to months before, threatening to have men SA me and hopefully unalive me. When he made the threat this time, I believed him, and I knew that I had to go. I told him I can't take this anymore. I'm leaving. I grabbed my keys and I grabbed my phone, I grabbed my wallet. He watched me the whole time. I thought he might try to stop me, but he didn't. I ended up leaving the house without my kids. Up to that point, I had never seen him be abusive with the children. It was always just directed towards me. So when I left, in my mind, I knew that they would be safe. I left the house and I went to a lake that was a couple miles down the road. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have any money. He, by that point, had taken my debit card, my credit card, any cash that I would have had. He made sure that he put gas in the car and he monitored my every step. There was a locating device on my car. There was an incredibly sophisticated program on my phone that not only allowed him to track me, but he could also see when I was writing a text message, when I had deleted something that I was typing. He also could listen in to phone calls when he wanted to, all without my knowledge. When I sat at the lake, I cried because I couldn't call anybody if I wanted to. He would have known, and who knows what he would have done. By that evening, he had already started calling me and texting me and asking me to come home. He told me that he knew that things had been bad and that he wanted me to come home. That he didn't know why he was being the way that he was, but that I just needed to come home. And I told him I can't come home. I can't take it anymore. It's been going on for a year now, and it's only gotten worse. He didn't like that, but he never came to try to find me. I moved to a different place so that nobody would bother me. I drove in a commuter parking area. I eventually fell asleep. I'm not sure what time, but when I woke up, I had a bunch of mixed calls and text messages from him, but my phone was also locked at that point. He ended up showing up where I was parked at. I seen our truck in my side mirror, and I instantly got scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. When he got out of the truck, he came over to search the car. I'm not sure what he was looking for, but he didn't find anything. He asked me to sit in the truck with him, and I did. And he started to apologize and beg for me to come home. He told me he didn't know what was wrong with him, and he wanted to make things right. He was laying it on really thick. But even then, I still held my resolve. And I told him I loved him. But there was no way I could go back. I couldn't take it anymore. He changed the way he was talking to me after that. And he told me, that's fine. If you decide you don't want to come back, then I'm going to tell your command, and I'm going to tell the cops about the night that you attempted to unalive me. And I was shocked, because the night he was talking about, it's a night that I'll share in another video, but I most definitely acted in self-defense that night. But it also plays a huge role in my entire story. He was just such an evil man. He proceeded to tell me that if I ended up going to prison, that he knew people in the prison system and that he would make sure that I had a really terrible time. He would make sure that other people essayed me and did things to me to make me wish that I had already unalived myself. But then he said, but none of that has to happen. Please just come home. I don't want it to be this way. I love you so much. I want you to come home. I want to make things right. I want to make things right. This conversation went on for probably about 2 hours. Near the end of it, it was going okay. It had been pleasant. And he said, please, can we just go home? You know, we don't need to be sitting in this truck. Please just come home. You're leaving this weekend. You're going to be gone for a week. I was supposed to have been going to California for training. He then said, you know, we missed Thanksgiving yesterday. We could still have Thanksgiving today. Please just follow me home. Please, let's just make this right. And I decided to go home. The whole way back, he stayed right in front of me. He made sure that he didn't lose me. There was one time I thought about getting off on the exit to get on the highway and just drive as far as I could drive. But I didn't know what would happen if I did that. So I went home. When we got home, he told me to go inside and to go into the bedroom and that he would meet me there, but that he was so ready to make things right. When I went into the bedroom, I waited for him to come in. And when he came in, he told me, I need you to lay on the floor. And I'm not sure why, but I did. It's really hard to explain why I complied with the things I did. I had no idea what he was about to do to me. But I knew pretty quick once I was on the floor. When I laid on the floor, I looked up, and all I seen was blue gloves in a white container. And that was the last thing I remember seeing. And the next thing I felt was a pain that is just so indescribable. I've been burnt before, but this was different. Whatever he used melted off my skin. I'm gonna need to continue this in a part 2. Thank you for listening.
Hey everybody, I know it's been a little while since I last made a video. It's been a bit of a hectic week for me, and this is the hardest part of my story to tell for me. So thank you for being patient and understanding. Today is also a weird day for me. Today marks 1 year since he unalived himself. The feelings are still interesting. I still mostly feel relief. I still feel anger that he didn't have to actually serve any justice on the earth. I believe God has treated him appropriately, enough to say. It's just a really surreal thing to kind of put it into words. I had a conversation earlier with a friend, and they asked if I missed him. And I said no, because the person that I married died long before he unalived himself. So I guess that today has put me in a little bit of a weird mood, but I'm fine. I've had a good day. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I was laying on the floor and it's holding me down, and the pain was immediate, and I could feel his hand rubbing it into my right eye. I believe that's whenever the screaming got to be the loudest. That's whenever he told me that if I didn't stop, that he would pour it down my throat and I would die. When I stopped screaming and started to pray, I feel as though maybe I left my body or something. I really can't explain how I was able to stay quiet. Because when he was done with the right eye, he moved into the left. But he didn't rub it into that eye. But I still didn't scream. The next thing that happened, he started speaking to me in the same tone of voice that he had. And he told me, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go into the kitchen. You're going to go by the oven. You're going to grab the can of oven cleaner. You're going to act like you sprayed it in there. Then you're going to scream out the word fuck really loud. Then you're going to grab the towel hanging from the oven door. He proceeded to tell me that he would then plug the camera back in. So that way that would be what was caught as to what happened to my eyes. I made sure that no matter what pain I was in, I followed every direction that he had. We went into the kitchen, walked me in there. He sprayed my face a little bit with the oven cleaner in some different places, kind of around the top. I didn't really feel it though at that point. My face was already burning. So we went in there. I did what I was supposed to do, and I yelled fuck as loud as I could. My daughter came running out of her room. God, she didn't hear anything. The outline of our house. Our bedroom was separated from the kids, so they didn't know anything had happened at all. I'm thankful I already had my face covered by the time she came out. She said, oh my God, Mom, what happened? And that's when he ran out. Oh my God, babe, what happened? Are you okay? And I said, no. I sprayed myself in the face with oven cleaner by accident. Said I need to get into the shower right away to flush my eyes, and then I need to go to the hospital. Of course, he said. Got me into the shower. I jumped in fully clothed. I was just on fire. I had to just start rinsing my eyes. It's the coldest water, but it just didn't feel cold enough. I didn't dare touch my eyes. I couldn't open them though. I wasn't even sure that I had eyes at that point. Well, I'm soaking my face. He was outside the shower screaming. Not really screaming, but just repeating, fuck, 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 fuck. I didn't say anything. He started to tell me that I needed to go to the hospital. And at first, I just couldn't even get out of the shower. My face was on fire. I said, I can't move. I'm in so much pain. And he said, we have to fucking go. So he helped me out. And then changed my clothes, got right into the car. He didn't look up directions to the hospital. I knew where the hospital was because I worked in the town we lived in. So I gave him directions to the hospital as my face was on fire. When I pulled up to the hospital, he said to me, you know you did this to yourself, right? He didn't say anything. And he went inside and he put on the show of the concerned husband. Help us, my wife had an accident with oven cleaner. We need help. Put on a good show. I was in school. I knew it was bad. I got into one of the rooms. I heard, I'm not sure who it was, I guess a nurse, say, oh shit. I came into the room. So I knew it was bad. Finally got me into a room, started me on medication to help me with the pain. And they got me started with
some lenses over my eyes so they could run saline through them. I was still in my soaking clothes, so they knew they had to get them off. I asked that everyone leave the room except for the female nurse that was removing them and my husband, and he seemed to be pleased by that. After I was changed into the other clothes, we were left alone in the room. And he got down to me and he told me, "I hate to see you like this." And I told him it's okay. And he told me that he loved me. And I told him that I loved him too. And he told me that he believed me. And I don't know why. In that moment, that's like what I needed to hear. Because literally all I did for the entire time we were together was just love him.
This man is a monster because I don't know what else to use to describe this individual. And this is why when women come out and they say men literally hate women, I don't bother arguing. And I know it's not all men, but I mean, what manner of vile wickedness, hatred do you have that you go to this extent to? I mean, he was the one who even took her to the hospital. You guys, it's crazy. And this was not a baby daddy. It was not a boyfriend. It was a husband. Married. You saw her like that. Told her, "I want to spend the rest of my life with you." And you married her. In Africa, where I come from, to marry a person, you would pay you spend money and pay a lot for the dowry. I know they don't pay dowries and whatnot, that abroad, but I want to believe that, it took a lot of watching, studying, deciding, and then you decide to marry her. So why go through this and want to, ruin her life? Literally, you ruined her. I'm glad she is a survivor and she's not letting anything hold her down. But you guys, men can't be too careful. Sometimes you just might be living with your enemy. And I mean, they're going to say it's your husband, but it's literally your enemy. I mean, I'm just thinking, how strong is he? Oh my gosh. You guys, please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section because, I'm just bamboozled that this kind of hatred, I mean, let me not act so shocked, yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy, you guys. Isn't it? It is. I think this is crazy because I'm trying to process, but there's no reason. No reason. Anyway, you guys, feel free to put your thoughts in the comment section and I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.